G'day folks, I'm Gazza the Green and welcome back to my ever-evolving patch of Middle Earth, where the chooks wander freely and the beans climb the sunflowers and no one does anything alone for long. This week we're diving into the Permaculture Principle number 8, integrate rather than segregate. And this might just be the secret to harmony in both the garden and life. At its heart, this principle reminds us that relationships matter. In nature, things thrive not in isolation, but in interconnected communities, and permaculture design should mirror that. Instead of keeping elements separate, we ask, how can each part support another? Can your compost pile warm your greenhouse wall? Can your ducks help with pest control? Can your herbs edge the path and feed the bees at the same time? Mollison put it like this: the strength of a system is in the number of beneficial connections. So rather than neat rows of monoculture and isolated elements, we weave everything together, stacking functions, sharing space, and building resilience through diversity and connection. In short, the more things working together, the less work you have to do. When I started designing this place, I'll admit, I had a few segregated ideas. The veggie beds would be here, the fruit trees over there, chickens way down the back. It was all neat and tidy. But nature had other plans, and after a few seasons of observing and a bit of humble rethinking, I started bringing things together. I let the chickens roam through the orchard. They ate all the fallen fruit, scratched up the pests, and fertilised as they went. I planted comfrey and nitrogen-fixing plants around and under the trees, feeding the soil and giving shade. The herb spiral was positioned close to the house so I could actually remember to use it. I built banana circles so I could compost weeds and woody plants and feed the bananas all in one. I made archways for my pumpkins and climbing plants to grow on, and this then shaded seedlings underneath and provided me an area to work while the hot summer sun shined down. Each time I connected elements, things got easier. The garden became a living system, not because I designed every part perfectly, but because I let things work together in simple, useful ways. Now, if anyone understood integrate rather than segregate, it was the Hobbits, even if they never used those words. More likely, they would say something like, well, that's just where it's always been. Just picture Bag End. The herbs grow just outside the kitchen door, the chickens wander under the plum trees, and the compost heap sits quietly behind the tool shed, always fed by the kitchen scraps and the garden clippings. It wasn't about tidy blueprints or formal plans. It was about living close to the land and letting everything support something else. One thing flowed into the next. It looked simple, but it was deeply connected, like a good stew with all the right ingredients in the right place. And the elves, well, they took it to another level. They built their homes into the forests, not over them, with walkways under waterfalls, gardens in the treetops, and starlight reflecting off their roofs like dew. Even the ants were all about connection, not just trees wandering around, but caretakers of the whole forest system. Everything in its place and every place in relationship with the other. Whether it's hobbits, elves, or ants, in Middle Earth, things didn't just coexist, they cooperated. So, if you're planning a garden, a farm, or even just a little balcony jungle, think about the connections. What can live beside what? What does one thing produce that another needs? How can you step back and let nature handle some of the chores? Integration isn't just efficient, it's joyful. It's life doing what life does best: cooperate. So chuck your monoculture map in the compost, grab your mug of ale, and start designing with relationships in mind. And if you've got a great combo in your garden, like beans with corn or kids with ducks, share it in the comments. Until next time, may your gardens be diverse, your chickens well integrated, and your friendships as strong as a Hobbit breakfast tea.